Hello, also everyone. It's very good to be here. Thank you, Asta, for the invitation and for making this webinar happen. I'm really glad that I get to tell you a bit more about our solution or solutions. Actually, as you will see, that there will be a few of them. Uh, I would like to introduce, of course, Xopero, Xopro, or however you prefer to pronounce it, to you, because I know it's actually a new solution for you. As also, Hermitage is the new distributor of our solution, so it's really good that we have this opportunity to give you some insights, to share a bit information about what we do, about how we can help you provide better solutions for your customers. And yeah, that's it. Let's move on. So actually today we have, I mean, I keep saying we because there are two of us here today, as Asta say. There is Carolina here with me, and she is one of our pre-sales
Hello,
engineers.
everyone.
Oh, yeah. Hi. And she's one of our pre-sales engineers. She will show you the demo of the solution at the end of today's presentation, or rather nearer the end of today's presentation. So after I'm done with the slides, hopefully I will manage to keep you all awake and maybe even interested. Carolina will then show you some real goodies from the inside. So definitely, if you feel bored during the presentation, at least stay for the demo, please. And my name is Jakub Stachecki. I'm actually a business development manager here at Xopero Software, and my day-to-day work is mostly about keeping in touch with our international partners. So I don't really deal with our domestic market. I am only responsible for our international partnerships, and yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions, you can see my contact details here on the screen. You can also direct all the questions that you have to people you I probably know at Hermitage, so they will also guide you and help you get all the answers. But to give you an idea of who we actually are, we are a leading backup provider from Poland, so we're very close to you. And we've been on the market for over 14 years now, so I think we can say that it's quite some time and quite enough of time to validate that we're not just some random company from nowhere, but we actually know what we do, because for those over 14 years, or we can actually say almost 15 years, because it's really close, our 15th anniversary. For all those years, we've been actually doing only one thing, and that is creating, developing, enhancing our backup solution. We only deal with professional backup solutions, so we don't really take care of anything else. We don't really give you some like different types of solutions. We are completely focused on one thing, and that thing is a backup. And I believe that with millions of devices protected for hundreds of thousands of customers in over 60 countries right now, because we do operate globally, not only in Poland, but definitely globally. We can safely say that we continue to grow, we continue to expand our presence on those worldwide markets, and entering a partnership with a value-added distributor like Hermitage Solutions, I think, is another proof of our growth, of our development, and that we do treat the matter very seriously when it comes to providing the best possible backup solution for you and for your customers. Uh, and when I say we take a lot of uh, attention to give you the best possible solution, I also mean security. And it's important to mention, I believe, that we not only talk about security of our product being secure, I mean, for example, encryption of the backup, which we will come to in a moment, but we also set very high standards for ourselves. And we are probably one of the few companies in Europe that have both ISO 27001 and SOC 2 Type 2 certifications done and in place. That's something unique. Usually, companies do only one of those certifications. We actually have both, and that is all to prove how seriously we treat the matter of security, and how high standards we set for ourselves so that we knew we knew that we can be sure to tell you that we can guarantee you the highest level of security, and you can also be sure that it's provided for you. And uh, actually, that is one of the things that our customers tell us a lot of times after they, for example, purchase our licenses. Then a lot of times they get back to us and say that the fact that we had those two certificates was actually one of the reasons they even started talking with us in the first place, because that convinced them that we are serious about what we do. And when we're talking about some partners that we have, we can mention a few of them, but I believe that most of those logos are at least somewhat familiar to you. For example, ESET, with which we are in a technology alliance. For example, Wasabi, so the provider of our cloud storage. Also, T-Mobile and Orange, so two huge telecom companies that offer our cloud backup solution to their customers in Czech Republic and Slovakia. So we have an agreement with them there, and it's going really well. But also customers like strategic businesses, for example, Lotos Petra Baltic, for example, CEZ Group, so a thermal power plant company, Bogdanka, which is a coal mine. So as you can see, some businesses that are really strategic to the countries they're in. We have NetGuru, for example, who is like one of the biggest software houses in Europe. We have also universities like Gladstone Institute or Wharton University of Pennsylvania, medical facilities with British NHS, for example, to only name one, Medical University of Warsaw, so a combination of university and medical facility. So as you can see, many different types of customers. So if you came here to this webinar to see what this solution actually is, and you were wondering if you're a reseller, if you were wondering who could you offer it to, well, you can practically offer it to a wide variety of customers, starting from the SMBs through enterprises, medical facilities, government institutions, strategic businesses, and so on and so on. And if you are an end customer and you're wondering if that even is something for you, well, I can with believe 99% of certainty say that yeah, it is. It depends, of course, on your infrastructure, if you have any backup solution in place already or not, but it definitely is something for everyone. And now moving on to the solutions themselves, I will actually mention two of them, two of which we have the most important uh, products in our offer. First being Xopero ONE, which is actually our backup software, and that is the most basic product I would say that we have, because we will actually discuss the features of our backup based on this product. Only one thing, one in the name of the product does not mean like it's some first edition or something. I did say we constantly develop it, we constantly make our solution better, and that product is the effect of years of work, and it's still being improved. But one actually means that all the features that we will be talking about are available for you from the level of one management console, because that is what we give you. And that's actually one of my favorite slides, because it usually causes some confusion at the very start, like where do I look? What am I seeing here? But I will take you step by step through it and show you that it's actually really easy to get a hold of. What our ecosystem is, how our solution is built, and what elements it consists of. So right here we have this chart that's in the very middle. So let's focus on the middle, on the blue icon that we can see in the middle of the screen. We have the central management console, and that is the first element of our system, of our software. And that management console has two deployment models you can choose from. If we were to summarize us with one word, I would probably say flexibility, and I will spend this presentation showing you why. So I will probably be repeating the word flexibility a lot. Sorry for that. But first thing that we're flexible about is the deployment model. You can choose if you want the management console to be located in your own infrastructure, so in on-premise model, or if you want the management console to be installed or hosted by us in the cloud. So we call it a SaaS model, so software as a service, of course. And I want you to know that regardless of which deployment model you choose, you get all the same functionalities. We don't limit functionalities when it comes to the method of deployment that you choose. So, for example, if you want to have SaaS management console, so cloud-based management console, you can still perform local backup. And if you want your management console to be local, you can still perform backup to the cloud. But we'll move on to that a bit later. So first thing you have to do is to choose if you want the management console to be in the cloud or installed locally in your own infrastructure. Cloud-based management console actually gives you the advantage of being, well, more flexible, being more available for you because it's a browser-based management console and it is available for you from anywhere in the world without the need to use the VPN. So if you go for SaaS model, I would say it can be more convenient to you. If you choose your local management console, then you probably will need some VPN to access it from somewhere outside of your company, outside of your network. But okay, the first element, the management console, it's a place that actually gives you power over all the backups, and that is the thing that Carolina will show you at the end or later on from the inside. So I will not be like discussing the details of how it looks like because you will see that later on. But then we have the second element of our solution, which is the agent. And that is what you can see on the left side of the screen right now. So we have any platform, that's what it says, and there you can see the platforms that we actually support, that we can protect, that we can perform backups of with logos of the operating system so that it all was clear for you. So we've got we offer in this one management console still, of course, we offer you backup of physical environments with virtual environments with Microsoft 365 and DevOps environments as well. So physical, starting with endpoints and servers and with databases. We've got Windows, Linux, Mac support, Windows and Linux for servers as well, and a very wide variety of database support. So 5 different databases are natively supported by our solution, and those are Microsoft SQL, MySQL, Firebird, PostgreSQL, and Oracle database as well. So all of those databases are natively supported by our solution, just as all those operating systems that you can see on the screen. And we always support a few versions back. So when it comes to endpoints, for example, and Windows, we support back to Windows 7. So Windows 7 and all the newer Windowses can be backed up with our solution when it comes to Windows Server. Windows Server 2008 R2 and all the newer Windows servers are also supported by us, just as the most popular distributions of Linux. But we, of course, have a full list of compatibility in our knowledge base, which you can always check out and see if the operating systems that you have or your customer has is supported or not. Usually it is. We very, very hardly do we meet customers with operating systems so old that they are not supported. So most, like 99% of the cases, we support all the platforms that our customers have. Virtual environments are supported with from the level of the host, like native host level backup of VMware. And very soon we will also release that functionality for Hyper-V. And we are actually expecting it to be released this month. So VMware and Hyper-V are supported with our solution. You can also perform backup of different virtual environments like KVM, Proxmox, Citrix, or whatever, but from the level of the virtual machine itself. So we can install the agent on the virtual machine and sort of treat it like a physical server and perform a backup like this. It has some pros actually, because we can then perform a completely granular backup of this particular virtual machine and so on. So it's very convenient too. So we have a lot of different virtual environments that we can support. With Microsoft 365, we actually right now provide the support for OneDrive, so OneDrive and Exchange, so emails, contacts, calendars, those data can be protected with Microsoft 365. When I was talking about the customers, I did mention Warsaw Medical University of Warsaw, and they actually use our solution to back up 4,000 accounts of Microsoft 365. So I believe that's an outstanding amount and a great case study for us. We also have we built a case study with them. You can find it on our website. So if you're interested in Microsoft 365 backup, I definitely encourage you to check it out, to see how it works there. And DevOps environments, I'm not sure if you have customers like this or if you use GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, Jira, or stuff like this. If not, this may just be like a fun fact, but if you do, we can also offer you backup of those environments. And as I said, it's all included in one console. So if you have customers who would like to, or who create some intellectual properties using GitHub or GitLab repositories, we can also offer protection of those resources within one management console. And that was the second element. So we had the first element, the management console. The second element, the agent that we install on the devices that we want to protect. And now we can move on to the right side of the screen. And there is a third element of our software, and that's the storage. And once again, we're flexible here because we offer a support for a lot of different types of storages. We allow you to use many different types of storages. It's completely up to you which you choose. You can choose both local and cloud storages. When it comes to local, iSCSI targets, SMB shares, NFS, even the local directory on your very own computer. You can use any NAS that you have, like QNAP, ASUS, or Synology, or whatever you might have. And you can use any public cloud, actually any S3 compliant cloud to be precise. So all the clouds compliant with S3 protocol can be added to our software as a target storage. And you can, of course, use, and we definitely recommend that, to use our Xopero cloud storage, the cloud storage that we provide for you, because that's the only storage that we can actually guarantee a highest level of security for you, because we host that. We know the specifics of that storage, and we can be sure that the security of this storage is of top quality and is actually a top priority for us. So you can use your own public cloud, you can use our cloud, you can use your local storages, you can use some local S3 buckets, for example. You can use any even local directories on your computers. That's completely up to you. We support many types of storages. You can add unlimited amount of storages to your management console, and you can mix those storages between one another, and you can also replicate the data between all kinds of storages that you have. So you can practically do whatever you want in here. But since we're starting talking about features, and then a few words about that. And the best feature, well, maybe not the best, like one of the best features that I personally like the most, and I love to bring it up every time I have the opportunity, is global deduplication on source. And I assume you might be aware with what that is, but that is actually a very enterprise class feature. And the best thing is that not only we have it, but we also have it, as I said, on the source. So the duplication is done before the data is sent to the storage. So we make sure to not overcrowd your bandwidth, not overcrowd your storage. And you don't have to, that is like the best thing ever, you don't have to buy any additional licenses to have this deduplication. You do not have to buy any external hardware deduplicators, or you do not have to buy any pro license version or whatever. It's included in the price of the license. So it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 endpoints or 5 endpoints, you get deduplication included in the license. And that is absolutely outstanding, I would say. And the thing that also makes us kind of stand out from the crowd and from our competitors, because in this way, it's very affordable and very convenient for you. Other things here, I actually mentioned a few of them. So replication between different types of storages. So multiple storages can be assigned to your management console, to one instance of this management console. But I didn't say anything about schedulers. We have some built-in schedulers in our solution. You can also go completely custom. You can adjust our solution to fit into your infrastructure, to fit into your needs. That's also great. You have some schedulers. You can set up your unlimited retention policies. You don't have any limitations there, so it's completely up to you and how much storage you have. You can set a lot of point-in-time recoveries. But again, Carolina will show it to you during the demo part, how to create a backup plan, what settings can be well set there. So I won't be going into too much details right now, because you will see it all at the later stage of today's presentation. But I mentioned we don't want to overcrowd your storage or your bandwidth. So not only we have the duplication feature, which you can use or not, it's also up to you, but we also have compression. We also encrypt your data. So not only we want to make them to send like as little data as possible through your bandwidth, through your network, and to your storage, but we also want to make sure that this data is as secure as possible. And how do we do that? So on with the slide with the ecosystem, with the architecture of the solution, you could see that we do not have a typical backup server. You could see the management console, but this management console is not like this typical backup server. It's not a part of a backup task. It only triggers the backup task. It's a place where you have power over all the settings that you have, but it's not a crucial element of the tasks that you scheduled to perform. They can and will go on even if you would lose access to your management console. And thanks to that, we can say about the no single point of failure rule. And we actually designed the system so that the failure of one element would not cause the entire system to collapse. So even if you lose access to your configuration, to your management console, as long as you have your encryption key, you will still be able to recover your data and to recover your settings if by any chance you lose access to your management console. Another thing is, I did mention encryption, so we can, and also Carolina will show it to you, but you can choose the level of encryption in our solution. You have 3 different levels of solution to choose from, up to AES 256 bits, so it's actually uncrackable. It's used, for example, by the NSA, and they wouldn't use anything that has any vulnerability, so we can actually rest assured here. But also, thing called zero-knowledge encryption means that, all the operation, including compression, deduplication, encryption, and stuff like that, all those operations are performed by the agent on the device. So encryption is also done on the source before data is sent through the network, through your network to the storage. So even if somebody, by some man-in-the-middle attack, would intercept your data while they are transferred from your endpoint to your storage, you could be sure that they will not actually steal any data from you because it's encrypted already. No data will leave the agent, no data will leave the device that we back up without being encrypted, if you choose to encrypt your data, of course. And also, zero-knowledge encryption actually means that the agent that does the backup, it doesn't have access to the encryption key. because the encryption keys are in the management console, and the management console only gives the encryption keys to the agent for the time of actually encrypting the backup. And then the keys are withdrawn from the device, and it's impossible to steal the encryption keys from the agent. And also, we have a secure password manager built in our solution so that you don't have to memorize all the passwords. It's for your convenience. It's just for your ease of use. You don't need to memorize yet another password. Ransomware protection, because that is something very important and something that a lot of our customers stress that is a burning issue for them. Actually, two things from here are to show you how we protect against ransomware, because we will not protect you from being infected. Obviously, we can help you get back on your feet in case of being infected. So, first of all, the files on our storage are stored in non-executable form. And that way you can be sure that there is no way for any file to run, or any program or any malware, ransomware for that matter, run on the storage level. So even if your computer is infected and we perform a backup, then the ransomware files will be on the storage, of course, but they will not be able to run, and they will not be able to spread across the storage. They will not be able to compromise your entire storage, and that is something very great. And another thing is immutable storage, or warm storage, or other names that you can find for those types of storages. It actually means that you can write the data on the storage once and read it many times. And I did mention Xopero Cloud Storage before, so our cloud that we offer and we recommend you to use. And in our cloud, our cloud is the immutable storage. So if you choose our Xopero Cloud Storage, you can be sure that there is no way for any third-party device or malware or anything to overwrite the data on your storage. So it's impossible, basically, for any ransomware to spread across the storage that you have. For other storages available for Xopero ONE, we cannot guarantee that, because Xopero Cloud Storage is the only cloud storage that we provide to you and that we can guarantee is immutable. But you can also, as I said, use any S3 type object storages, and you can use the object lock feature to also create your own immutable storage for yourselves. Management, that is something that I will definitely not be stopping at for too long, because we have a live demo today, and you will see the management console from the inside. Just like two words about things that I already mentioned. So one thing is that it's a browser-based management console, and you can actually access it from anywhere in the world without the need for VPN if you choose for the management console to be in the cloud. And another thing is that you can add different accounts of administrators to our management console. I believe Carolina will show it to you too, but there is no limit to how many accounts you can add. And you can add accounts with 4 different sets of privileges, so that not everybody has full administrator access. You can limit those privileges for different accounts that you have. That is also some enterprise class feature that was very widely requested by our customers, and that we implemented, and it's very good that it's here. But I'm kind of speeding up because I have to make some space for Carolina, and I tend to talk a lot, as you can probably tell by now, so sorry about that. But I would like to say a few words about our second solution I wanted to talk to you about today, and it is called Xopero Unified Protection, and that is a hardware backup appliance that we offer to you. So if you or your customers would like to have a complete all-in-one solution, so software layer combined with hardware layer, all in one, we can also provide that for you. And that is actually Xopero Unified Protection, or XOP, how we usually call it in short, is actually one of the best, or the best way to perform Xopero backup locally. So if you would like to choose local management console of Xopero ONE, I would definitely encourage you to think about Xopero Unified Protection, because if you want to perform local backup, using Xup is the best possible way to do so. And why is that? Because we have a specifically designed hardware layer to cooperate with our software. It's designed to be compliant with it. It's the perfect symbiosis between hardware and software. It guarantees the highest possible performance, highest possible reliability, and of course, highest possible security that we can talk about, because I mentioned immutable storage like a few moments ago, and Xopero Unified Protection is, of course, an immutable storage as well. So not only you get your all the like everything you need in one device, so you don't have to, for example, wonder where to install the management console, or what kind of storage, or what kind of matrix, what kind of NAS I should get, because you have that all in one. On this device, you have a pre-configured, already installed management console of our solution, local management console. You have that is also your default storage, so you have everything in one. And implementation is as simple as it can be, because it's practically a plug and play solution. So you just take it out of the box, you connect it to your network, and you're practically ready to operate in no time, compared to having to configure different matrices, servers, NAS, or whatever, then installing the software and stuff like this. It's pre-configured and it comes to you within days, actually, because when it comes to availability of the system, we can provide it to you even within 1 week from order to placement in your customer's infrastructure. You don't need to keep any stock on your side. For example, if you're a company that used to only offer software solution and not really deal with hardware before, you don't have to be afraid of having your stock on your side, or building a warehouse or whatever. We take care of that for you. We can send it directly to your customer without the need to go through any other storages. We're actually practically neighbors, so it's very easy for us to guarantee fast deployment. In Poland, we actually even do it within 2 days. So we get an order on Monday, for example, and we have an implementation on Wednesday. One of my colleagues even is proud of once providing Xup within 24 hours from order to placement. So that is also possible. You can be sure that this will be fast. I mean, it's this up to 21 working days is there on the slides only because we are actually starting the fourth quarter right now, and it's hard to predict what's going on, how many orders we will have, and stuff like this. So judging by the growing amount of orders that we have, it may take a bit longer than 2 days, but as I said, 1 week absolutely tops. 2 weeks, and we can provide this top class backup hardware appliance to you. It also comes with some automatic updates, or semi-automatic updates, because, well, you still have to agree on the update to take place, but you get always an up-to-date version of Xopero Unified Protection. You don't have to manually install the updates. We do it for you. And also the system is completely airtight. It provides the highest possible standards of protection against all types of malware. That's what we discussed before. So files stored in non-executable form, immutable storage. It's also in your local network. It can be practically cut out from any external traffic. It can be a DMZ network or environment, for example. It's completely up to you how you configure it, but we do provide the highest possible level of security that we can. And a few more words about it. So we give you the features of, for example, something that we call appliance recovery, because the system has mechanisms to perform some automatic restorations in case of failure. We have on the device there are 2 NVMe hard drives on which the management console is installed. So even if you lose or one of those hard drives fail, you always have the other, and you can completely continue working normally. Instant restore allows you to perform a disaster recovery from the level of your backup, and Xup can be the host of your virtual machine to host your backed up server, for example, and it will allow you to continue your work in a disaster recovery mode. until you fix the issue, until you can go back to working and operating completely normal. And last but not least, it's very scalable, because if you run out of space, of storage space on your Xopero Unified Protection, you can add another device and use it as disk array to then increase the capacity of your device. And speaking of capacities, actually, right now, we are offering only rack-mounted models worldwide. It will actually change, I believe, in a week or maybe 2 weeks, because we will also introduce desktop models, so smaller capacities, because for rack-mounted devices, right now, the smallest device offers 24 terabytes of storage, of local storage. And it goes up to 96 terabytes, and we can go also beyond that. We can provide you with the devices with 100 terabytes capacity and more. We can create a custom configuration for you. We just need to know that you have such needs, and we will be able to help you with that. All the devices come with on-site next business day warranty, so you don't have to worry about that. You can be sure that your hardware will be tended to in no time with, as I said, next business day on-site warranty, and the hard drives can actually stay at your customer's site. So if there are any sensible data information, or you have a government customer or a healthcare facility that they cannot just send the hard drive with the data for maintenance, no worries here. The hard drives can stay at your customer's site. And when it comes to maintenance, then we also offer supports for Xoop. You always purchase the device and the support, and there are 3 levels of maintenance. The first one gives you support, updates, next business day warranty. What I said. You can purchase it for up to 5 years, so you get up to 5 years of on-site next business day warranty for your device. And then we have gold maintenance, which actually gives you all the same things that silver, but also additionally, it gets you the feature of replication, and it also gives you 20% additional cloud storage. 20% compared to what you already have on the device. So if you go for the smallest device with 24 terabytes of local storage, you get additionally 4.8 terabytes, so almost 5 terabytes of cloud storage, of our Xopero cloud storage, so immutable, secure, all the things that we discussed before, to store the replicas of your backup. And Platinum maintenance actually gives you mirror cloud storage. So if you purchase the smallest rack-mounted device with 24 terabytes of local storage on the device and Platinum maintenance, you get additionally 24 terabytes of cloud storage to store your backups in the cloud as well. So you can actually mirror what you have locally to our cloud, which is great, I believe. And okay, licensing model, really quickly about Xopero ONE and about Xoop. So starting with Xopero ONE, so with our software, we offer you lifetime and subscription licenses. I will focus on subscriptions because they are way more popular among our customers, but keep in mind, we also have lifetime licenses. The only limitation here is you cannot have lifetime licenses with the management console hosted in the cloud. So if you want lifetime licenses on-premise, local deployment only, you can still back up to the cloud, but not the management console cannot be hosted in the cloud. Subscription model, 2 deployment models, as we said, on-premise and SaaS. You always calculate the number of the devices that you want to protect, and that is what you pay for. So the amount of endpoints, the amount of servers, the amount of Microsoft 365 users. When it comes to virtual protection, virtual environments, we license it because, as I said, for VMware and soon for Hyper-V, we'll add the host level, native host level support, native host level backup. In this case, we only license you per CPU socket of the host machine. So we don't care how many virtual machines you have. You only give us the amount of CPU sockets on the host, and then you can protect all the virtual machines that you have on the host or on the hosts, however many hosts you have. And there is a minimum order quantity of 2 CPU sockets here. So that's pretty much how it looks like. Our Xopero Cloud storage, because it's not on the slide, is licensed per 100 gigabytes of available storage. So you only get those packs. You need 1 terabyte, you get 10 packages, and that's it. When it comes to prices, of course, you can contact Hermitage for those. They have all the price lists, all the up-to-date price lists, and they can share it with you. When it comes to Xopero Unified Protection, it looks slightly different because you choose your device, and the most important thing that you should pay attention to when choosing the device is the capacity. So you choose how much storage you need. You need 24 terabytes, or 24 terabytes is enough for you, you go for the S model. You need 60 terabytes, you go for the L model, and so on and so on. That storage space is your only limitation. As I said, in case of Xopero ONE, so software, you pay for the number of devices that you have. You buy licenses for the devices that you have. In case of Xopero Unified Protection, you buy the device and the support, and you have unlimited licenses for the devices. So it doesn't matter if you have 100 endpoints, if you have 1,000 endpoints. If you have 10,000 endpoints and 24 terabytes is enough for you, you can still go for the Model S, and that's totally fine. If you have 100 endpoints, but your organization grows, let's say by 20 a year, for example, then in Xopero ONE, you would have to buy additionally 20 licenses after a year to cover 120 devices. In Xopero Unified Protection, you don't have to do that. You have unlimited Xopero ONE licenses included in the price of the device and the support. Of course, Hermitage also has the prices for Xopero Unified Protection. So if you're interested in the pricing, definitely let us know. And right now, I will hand it over to Carolina for the live demo.
Thank you, Jakob, for the great introduction. So I'm just switching to my screen.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing right now, so the screen is yours.
Yeah, so I believe that all of you can see my web browser currently. And
Yes.
actually, a web browser is what you need to access our solution. So you are not like bounded by installation of some app on each of your devices from which you want to manage. It's like old school approach. Now all you need to have is just a web browser, and then you access your dedicated link in case you use the deployment which is in our cloud, or if you decided to install our solution on premise in your own infrastructure, then the IP address of the device on which such service is running. And for local installations, just one technicality, it doesn't matter on what operating system you install. It can be Windows, it can be almost any distribution of Linux, even without the graphical interface, because from the other device you can access it through web browser anyway, or maybe some NAS devices like QNAP or Synology. It's completely up to you. We are very flexible, and even we can move our solution between different systems later on with whole configuration. So I believe it's really, really big advantage of our system. But let's go back to the core of our today's demo. I just wanted to show you how does it look like in everyday usage when you want to access your instance. So first, what I see is my login page. I have login and password to the solution as an administrator, but of course, I can use single sign-on with one of those services, as you see, GitHub, Bitbucket, Google, GitLab, Microsoft. If you have session logged in the background, and the email address for such system is the same login address, email address used to create an account of administrator in our solution, then one click is enough to log in into such. Uh, First thing you see is the dashboard. On dashboard, you will see the quick summary of backups, how it worked, how it went, how many of your devices currently for now is protected. Mm, well, my demo instance is very small one. I have just one device with server license, which on which I'm doing presentation today, actually. But of course, if you will have like 100,000 of different devices, all of it will be here on the dashboard in this summary. Also with the statuses of last backups and notifications, which are logs. And here you will see even actions such as administrator logged into Xopero ONE. Of course, if you need any help, also on this first screen, you have button to access our knowledge base where every action and that can be taken in our system is described with a handful of tips from our side. So you don't need to worry that you are left alone with the solution. We have some tutorials for all actions. You can also access our YouTube channel on which we have some guides and of course our great support. No, usually within 2 hours you will have feedback from our support. They will answer your ticket, answer your questions that you may have to us. Okay, let's switch to devices tab. On each device on which you install an agent, and by the agent we mean the application that actually does the backup, on each of such device will be listed here. Some of them can be workstations, some of them can be servers, some of them can have Windows, other Linux family operating system, and others can have iOS on it. Doesn't matter, we can create backup of all of them within our one solution. Columns are modified by you, so you can see more or less details about those devices. You can group your devices into categories of your choice. You can add your virtual environments, Microsoft 365 tenant, or some DevOps environment of your choice. And all of it is here with just one management console, so you don't need to switch through different panels. It's all there. And when you want to create a backup, actually what you need to create is backup plan. This is our scheduled task, which will happen automatically. It will be triggered by our management console, and each agent which is chosen to be in such backup plan will start the backup. Usually you choose between image level and file level backup. With image level backup, you can restore whole operating system in a few ways. You can restore it to the same machine, to a completely new machine, or maybe you can restore just an image of the hard drive and then later on use it for virtual environment, or maybe just access it like a file and get the data to you want to access. When you choose the backup plan, when you create backup plan, you choose if it's backup plan just for one device. Maybe you want to backup some database that is running on your server, or maybe you want to create backup of hundreds of workstations that you're having. Well, with our solution, you are the master of the backup. You choose what you want exactly to protect. I won't go today into much details. It's not a technical training, which can be a few hours long, to be honest, with all the technicalities. But today I just want to give you a brief for you to understand how easy it is, even for less advanced users, to set up such backup. Because from each device, you can choose directly some data you want to protect. You can set some global rules to, for example, choose desktops of all devices to be backed up, and also you can add some filters to, for example, exclude some types of files from our backup that we are creating. Each backup plan can have different storage, and here's a very important thing, because if you have different localizations, like completely two different offices which are not connected together through network, but you want to be able to manage the backup from those two places from one management console, it is possible with us. It is possible with our cloud deployment, where you choose our management console, which is cloud located, but you separately choose to choose to have two different storages, even locally. So you are not bounded to cloud backup if you have cloud management console. By management console is what I have here on my screen, but you can add your own local storages, and then half of the devices from one location can create completely local backup to their own localization and other to another one, and you don't even need to mix them. You don't need to set up any VPN connection, any WAN, LAN, or so on. You can have completely two separate offices with local backup, but still you are able to manage it from any place in the world. And I believe it's really, really convenient. But on the other hand, if you want to use some cloud storages like AWS, Azure, or so on, you are more than welcome to connect such to our solution. You can connect your own S3 compliant storage. You can connect your local resources to our solution. It's completely up to you. And if you decide to go for our device for the backup, which is Xopero Unified Protection, we can set up even two different devices into different localizations or so on, for you to be able to operate in such manner. Okay, let's go to the schedule and retention. Here in this setting, we choose how often our backup will be created and for how long we keep the copies. Basically, we suggest to create backup every day, but of course, every situation is different, and we have different approach, for example, to backup whole operating system of the server, and different approach to create backup of the database, which changes a lot during the day, and that's completely fine. And we are here to answer all your needs. You choose how often full, differential, incremental copy will be created. Even if you want to tell for how long your copies will be kept, you can choose different times for each type of copy. So like full copy can be kept even, oh, let's make it a year. But differential incremental copies, which are done on daily basis, they may be kept for a bit shorter period of time, because as we know, the latest backup is usually the most important one in case of any disaster that we are facing. Also, we have some advanced settings in which I cannot skip mentioning about encryption, which allows you to put your backups on a higher level of security. You choose your own encryption key. Thanks to it, all your data is 100% safe, even if you choose to send it somewhere to the cloud. So you don't need to worry anymore about the security of cloud, of your data in a cloud, thanks to the encryption, which is done actually on the device on which backup is being created before sending it somewhere. Also, we have compression, which is enabled by default. It's usually about 30%, but we can go up to 60%, which is really, really a lot. And functionality, which is usually known for solutions on enterprise level, and we are such. Even if you want to use us only for one workstation in your small office or in some middle-sized offices, you still have access to enterprise level features, which the duplication for sure is. And here you are able to save a lot of space on the storage on which you send your backup. For those who don't know what the duplication is about, well, basically, if once you send some piece of data to the storage, then next or the same device which is creating the backup will know that such data exists on the storage and won't send it again. Thanks to it, if you have like 100 workstations with Windows operating system, 90% of each are the same files, the same pieces of files, and they won't be sent again and again and again by each of devices. Thanks to it, even when you want to create cloud backup, uh, with whole images of operating systems, it will be fast, efficient, and we won't send much data through our network. Our solution always works on the low priority. What does it mean? Well, the agent app, which is running the backup, is in the background. It has no graphical interface, only from the management console, which is here. We see that some devices are connected and they are doing something. The user on each workstation, each server won't see a thing because there is no graphical interface. And if any other application needs to have the power, the hardware of such device, it will simply get it with higher priority. Backup will take longer, of course, but on the other hand, your user never ever will tell that something is going on. And I believe most of you remember the moment when, for example, antivirus starts to scan your hard drive, then um, the whole the whole operating system slows down, and it's kind of annoying. But we don't face such situation with our solution, with our backup. Okay, I see that we are very short on time currently. So last but not least thing I wanted to show you are storages, and in our settings the email notifications. So first, storages. All storages that are connected to our management console local cloud one will be listed here. Of course, our cloud is completely ransomware proof, and you have also a reminder here about it. And for notifications, you can choose one or many recipients, the language of such notification, and about what you want to be informed directly after the backup plan finishes, or maybe just daily report is enough for you. So once a day you are informed about the backups, and you are not obliged to log into management console to check if the backup is being created correctly. All you need to do is to um, just to log in, just to check your email and see the even the title of the email. To be honest, you don't need to open it, because in the title you will see how many tasks were in OK status, how many warnings, how many errors happen. And yeah, that's basically it. If you have any technical questions, please use the chat we have here. I'm really looking forward to answer some of them. And that's all from my side for the moment. Thank you a lot.
One more thing before the questions, just Just one maybe surprise for all the attendees that we have here today. So for all the purchases of Xopero Unified Protection until the end of the year, we can offer you an additional 10% discount. So if you are interested in our backup appliance, let us know. We can work together with you on the deals that you might have. 10% additional discount for all the purchases until the end of the year, limited for you only, because for our attendees here today. So that's practically it, and now we can move on to the questions. So I will just maybe keep our faces here, so with the contact details if you need them. And okay, starting with the first one, someone asked if we can get the 10 gigabit Ethernet and write 10 in the XUP, if it's available or not. So yes, 10 gigabits Ethernet ports are available. They are in some of the configurations, they are already included. In the smaller ones, they could be also added. Right 10, Carolina, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's possible to do a right 10 configuration in some
Yes,
custom
it's
models.
possible, but for the custom
Yeah,
specification,
for
which
custom.
is this is just a bit extra configuration from our side. The typical ones have RAID 5 or 6 already created. But of course, if you need such, we can go with a custom one. Okay, I see that we have two more questions which are technical, so maybe I will answer them.
Sure.
The first one is, in case of using Xopero ONE in SaaS cloud model, who ultimately has access to the decryption keys of the backups? Well, here is very very short answer. Only the administrator of the solution has access to the instance of Xopero ONE. So we, from our side, even if it is in our infrastructure, we cannot access your own instance. This is something just for you. And only you as administrator have access to your secure password manager, in which we store encryption and decryption key. This key is shared with each of the devices which creates or restores the backup only for the moment when the backup is being created. Later on, such key is being deleted from such device, so it's not kept on the end device. So the answer is only you have access in your own instance of Xopero ONE.
That is also one of the reasons I mentioned those certificates on the very beginning. Both SOC 2 and ISO 27001, they also provide like some level of security for you, and that's also one of the reasons you can be sure that we do not have access to your data, to your backups, even if you host. If the management console is in our cloud, and if you use our cloud storage, we still will not like access your data in any way.
And another question, I may not have heard but how protection is provided so that one administrator cannot delete a backup without another person's approval? Well, we have different levels of administrator in our solution. The first one is root administrator, who can do each action in the system, but it, as such, can create another administrators, and you can create from your root administrator account another administrative account without privilege to delete the data from storages. With that, every another administrator will simply won't be able to delete the data. Only the root administrator will have such access. And I believe that's
Yeah, no more questions for now. So if you have any more, like, now's probably the time, or maybe not even, because we're quite kind of running out of time. But if you have any more, let us know either on our email, so you can find us on LinkedIn or WhatsApp or whatever you want, or just quickly write the question now and we'll try to answer it right away.
Yes, so thank you once again. I do not see any more questions for now. So to conclude, we hope that this webinar was helpful And as always, we invite you to get to know more by contacting us. Thank you for our presenters, for all participants who join us today. Have a good day and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. See you.
Thank you. Bye.